Howdy folks, how's it going? Greetings from Chetumal, Mexico on the Yucatan Peninsula. I've been traveling around the Yucatan for the past 3 weeks, and I'm now at a spot right on the border of Belize, and I'm going to be crossing over the border there and entering into Belize in the next day or two. So I am at this really cool amphitheater in a park, and as you can see, really beautifully colorful mural behind me. That's just a tiny little portion of it. So before I continue with this video, then I'm going to show the rest of the mural. So here you go. So here's the full amazing mural. Check it out. It appears to be a woman holding a lighthouse and then with a mask over her face and then carrying fruits and vegetables and a coconut with a straw in it. I just had a fresh coconut myself just like 5 minutes ago. The juice. So I'm not sure what the full symbolism of this is, but pretty amazing. Alright, so this video is on the subject of the story of my 8-hour meditation experience. Before I get to that though, then I just wanted to tell a little bit about how I got into meditation to begin with, which was pretty much exactly 26 years ago, the winter of 1989. I was a senior in high school at Berkeley High School, California, where I graduated from, and I had a photography class that I didn't need to graduate, and I decided to focus on my core classes that I needed to graduate and try to get straight A's in those classes. And then my 2 electives that semester, I decided not to worry too much about, because it really didn't matter what grade I got in them. So I had this photography class, and there was a dark room, a wooden box for changing film in, that wasn't used very much because it had like a little bit of a crack in it or something, and so it let in just a little bit of light, and so it was useless as a film changing contraption. Somehow I came up with the idea of going into this little room, closing the door, and sitting there in meditation essentially through much of the class, much of the time. I did still get some photography done, and I think I got a C, maybe even a B in the class somehow, but from what I recall, then I spent a great deal of my time at that class meditating in that little wooden box. I don't recall if I even knew what meditation was exactly, like if I put a name on it or what. Somehow I just decided that I enjoyed the concept of sitting there in the darkness, exploring my own consciousness, watching the stream of my thoughts, and to me it was just very fascinating at the time. So that was the beginning of my meditation. And then it was a few years later that I got sort of more serious about it. I discovered a yoga class, started practicing yoga. That would have been about 4 years later. And I was reading spiritual books at that point and doing more, sort of conscious, focused meditation. I very much enjoy meditation. It is extremely beneficial for the mind, for the body, for the soul, for life in general. Meditation is about being here now, coming into the present moment, and becoming more aware of one's thought processes in order to expand one's consciousness and to come more into the moment and be in a more relaxed, content, satisfied, present, open, aware frame of mind and state of being. So definitely recommend meditation for everyone. So, getting to the experience of my 8-hour meditation. So I read a book titled The Path by Swami Ananda. This was later in that same year that I started practicing yoga in Eugene, Oregon. I found a really awesome yoga instructor. And so later that year, then I came across the book The Path by Swami Ananda. Swami Ananda is a direct disciple of Paramahansa Yogananda. Paramahansa Yogananda was an Indian yogi who came from India to the United States and started practicing and teaching yoga and Hinduism and spirituality, and is certainly one of the people most responsible for bringing yoga to the West. That was in like the 1920s, I believe, so almost a century ago. And so Swami Ananda is a American Western white guy who ended up as one of Paramahansa Yogananda's disciples. So I'd read Kriyananda's book, The Path, which chronicles his whole spiritual path over the course of several decades, and is a really good one, definitely recommend it. I believe I had also read Paramahansa Yogananda's book, Autobiography of a Yogi, which I also highly recommend. It might have been a year later or something, but it was sometime in that time frame that I read his book as well. But anyways, they're both good ones. So after having read Kriyananda's book, then I happened to discover that he was still around and teaching meditation and yoga, and had formed a community in Northern California in the Sierra Nevada foothills, outside of the little town of Nevada City. The community is called Ananda Village. Ananda means bliss in Sanskrit, the ancient language of India. And that word Ananda, as you may have noticed, is in a lot of names of Hindu yogis, Kriyananda, Yogananda, etc. And so it is kind of a word that encapsulates the goal, if you will, of the spiritual path of experiencing that divine bliss within, of connection with the infinite and the divine. I left my home in Eugene in the fall of 1994 and went on a hitchhiking adventure. And I talk about all this in my book, Kundalini and the Art of Being, the full story of my own spiritual journey. And so I took off from Eugene and hitchhiked down to California and visited Ananda Village and did work exchange at the retreat center for a couple of weeks. That wasn't when I did the 8-hour meditation. It was a year later that I went back and I did the work exchange experience again, this time for several months. This was fall of 1995. And so the 8-hour meditation was an option for people to experience on, I believe, Christmas Day, or else it might have been New Year's Eve or something, I forget exactly, but I'm pretty sure that it was Christmas Day. So I decided to go for it and experience it. The meditation was broken into 2 4-hour chunks with a 30-minute break, if I remember. Just basically a bathroom break. I believe they kind of recommended not to eat anything and make it a 8-hour fast as well, in order to make it a more kind of focused, intense, powerful experience. And so I went for it, and it was a really amazing, awesome experience. I can't say that I, saw any fireworks or anything, or had any profound revelations or attained enlightenment or anything that extraordinary, but it was definitely a very powerful experience, and I would say that it passed a little bit quicker than one might have expected, and was a little bit easier than I thought it might be. When you get into a meditative state, then time kind of disappears and becomes irrelevant, depending on your own personal circumstances, of course, especially how your body is feeling. From what I remember then, they gave people the option of sitting in an assortment of different ways. So people could sit on the floor, sit on a cushion, sit on a chair, sit with their back against the wall. So they were accommodating people for whatever would help them to be more comfortable and relaxed. So there isn't a whole lot to say really about the experience itself. Other than that, it was positive and profound and really good, and I definitely recommend anyone to try that if they happen to have the opportunity. The cool thing is that everyone has the opportunity if you decide you want to. Everyone has a day free. Certainly something to consider sometime when you have the day free, a quiet house to yourself, and you're just going to go out and go shopping or go for a walk or watch TV or watch a movie or whatever. It might be worth a try to call it a day of meditation and just say, what the heck, I'm going to go for it. Spend the day in my room, sitting on my bed in meditation or whatever. And then I'll just add here, a lot of people will already be aware of this, but Vipassana meditation retreats are essentially 8-hour meditations, 10 days straight in a row. And I haven't experienced one myself yet, but I definitely want to. I've talked to others who have experienced it, and that sounds like a really life-changing experience. It isn't necessarily 8 hours straight of meditation every day. I think that it's a little bit different from one place to the next, but it is a whole lot of meditation over the course of those 10 days. So Vipassana retreats are around the world, and so you can just search around online and find one that's happening most likely somewhere near you. But otherwise, meditation is free and available to anyone who has the desire to experience it. All you need is a mind and a body, basically, and the intention to set aside the time to experience it. So feel free to look around for more information on meditation. I'll put a link down below this video to my own video talking about meditation, just a basic synopsis of how to meditate. And if you've had any similar experiences along these lines yourself, feel free to tell me how your own 8-hour meditation or Vipassana meditation went. Thanks a lot for watching. Feel free to subscribe here to follow my upcoming travels to Belize, Guatemala after that, and then we'll see where else. So take care. Namaste.